All right, we're live, going live. It's been a few days since I posted a video. Seems like a great time to go live. There's a ton of talk about in crowdfunding right now, and so I think it's worth talking about. If not us, then who? So let me get in. Let me share this to make sure people know that we are going live. If you especially, okay, just tweeted that out. If you especially have missed a live stream, you've missed live streaming from me here at Sweetcast, this is your time to shine. So, all right, got that going on. I'm going to have Peter Smeti in here a bit later, 10, 15 minutes ish. He should be here. And we might have a few other alternate creators pop in as well. We will see. Beside that, we're gonna talk about a few things. So yeah. All right. First things first. Here we go. Draw and talk. Tyler's here. Clint, it's hot in Utah. I hate this. I know. I can't. I'm sweating. I have a fan on right now, and I have AC in here. But I was outside mowing the lawn, and that was a mistake. I should have just let it go. It's so hot. My throat is actually kind of struggling. I've been talking a lot today. Not good. Not a good way to start. Great to see you, though. Paul Riley is here. Hello. Great to see you. I got to tell you, Tyler, I posted, this is for everybody. I posted on Twitter today a poll. It's worth pulling up. I can make a video on it as well entirely, but it's been on my mind so much the past 2 days that I got to talk about it. All right. So here's the story. I was on with Thinking Critical last weekend, and they were talking about what the best comic book of the year was. And everyone named their favorite of the year. And I thought, well, I've read some from this year. A lot of the books I'm reading are either crowdfunded books or they are older books. Like I'm buying an omnibus, here or there from older books. And so I'm reading some of that. I've read some new issues too. But they said, okay, what's the best manga of the year? And they were talking about their favorite manga. And I said, how does the very best US comic book this year stack up against the best manga? And they said it's not even close. Manga is so much better, or manga, I don't know how you say it. So I said, okay, I read one. It was like a short story with the fish that are biomechanical. I don't know any writers' names in comics or artists or any of that. But I read it, and it was the weirdest book I ever read, but it was interesting. So I thought, I'm going to give let me do something that would be comparable, superhero genre, kind of in that realm. So I pulled up Chainsaw Man. It caught my attention. I bought the first volume, and I read it in a day. It was great. It was fantastic. And I want to do a whole video breaking that down. But I got thinking about it. It's like, what gives? Like, why is it that manga sells so much better and that you're more willing to give new titles a try? That I think that's part of it, because it's not like they're going over the same exact characters over and over and over again. They're not strip mining the past, to get every ounce of money they can. They're making new stuff, and yeah, they're long series, but it's like the story of the series, and eventually it ends. I mean, for the most part, eventually it ends, but it's not about building these giant universes that we've been doing here. And I got thinking, maybe that is what's getting so tired. I don't know, but it was interesting. So I got looking at the format, and the fact that it's shaped like a book, like a paperback book that you'd get anywhere. You can just flip open and read. Obviously, that's super portable. That makes a big difference, in my opinion. So it was super convenient for that. It's black and white. I didn't care that it was black and white, though technically, if you put it in comic book format, I want it in color. I don't know how you address that per se, but anyway, there are a lot of form factor components to it that were really interesting to me. And I get big ideas often, so I want to see how long I can let this idea marinate. But I want to do a story that's specifically intended to be manga size, dimensions, shape, and written that way, because there's there's a lot less detail per page. I can't really quantify it, but maybe one manga page is worth maybe 2/3 of a regular comic book page as far as detail goes, or maybe half even. I'm not sure. But the point is to do quick art, very simple. The expectation is not to have backgrounds, or like there are backgrounds. There's not nearly as many as there are in Western comic books. And I think because you're turning pages so quickly, that's part of it. Because you're going to see a background on one page and then go 3 pages of up close, faces and movements, and the focus on any given panel is just one thing. It seems like it's cartoonishly larger than life, like everything. And I know that's no secret to any of you, but these are just me looking at it from, I think, a fresh perspective. So I think it'd be worth saying if Japan looked at Western comic books and they said, hey, this is how they're doing comic books, and they changed it. They thought they could make it better in theory, right? And this is their take on it. If I was looking at manga from a Western perspective and I said, okay, we're going to put everything else out this window, okay? This is what manga is doing. How can I use this in Western storytelling? And I think there's something to be said. I've got a theory here about the size of books, because Dogman sells incredible here. Guess what size that book is? It's a lot more like what manga is shaped like. I don't know. Is there a correlation? I don't know, but it is interesting to think about. All right, so we'll get you warmed up, but I want to look at the poll. I got to say hello to everyone, though. Statistical Zero is here. Hey, Clint, good to see you streaming. Thanks, great to see you, too. We're going to have Peter Smeddy on here soonish. We'll get him on. We got to talk about some alternative stuff as well. Snuggy Jr. is here. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Everyone's saying hello. Brian's here. Yo, Clint, check your DMs. I just saw your DM. Actually, it went live. Yeah, we're talking about streaming. I'd love to stream with you, Brian. Let me know exactly what time, and I'll see if I can make it work. Again, more. There we go. Chainsaw Man is phenomenal. Yeah, I could break it down. Like, there's interesting. Again, I think there's something that's different between the way we tell stories here in the West and then in Japan, how they tell stories. Like, there's that component. But, I mean, it's undeniable. Like, the plot just moves, and you're not sure where it's going. There's funny things in it. Funny things. I wish that I could let my son read it because he really wanted to read it, but I just don't think so. Not quite. There's a few things I'm a little suspicious of, so I want to read a few more before I see where it's going. I bought loved the first one, so I bought the first 5 volumes, so I'm going to be catching up on that. Chainsaw Man is genuinely terrific. It is. It's fantastic. And not even that, but I remember the whole reason I picked Chainsaw Man. It's like, okay, I have to pick a manga. What do I pick? I saw that the images, the cover from Chainsaw Man just floating around Twitter. That was enough. Like, it just seemed like such a cool concept. I have to imagine maybe this is what Stan Lee and oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. Jack Kirby. I drew a blank. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This maybe was what they were on to when they were doing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk, and they're going through all these cool characters. I wonder if they felt that fresh, but for some reason, like, I look at Chainsaw Man and it seems super original, maybe because it's an inanimate object. I don't know, but it's cool. I love the concept. Statistical Zero says, because it's an industry that is focused on the books, everything else is secondary. Credit where credit is due. Yeah, I agree. There's some serious focus on story too, which, like, often I feel compelled in comics that you have to make comics take longer, and like you're doing these big fine art pieces. Like, it feels like that's the pull, and that's great. Like, that's cool, but I think that there's room for doing a book like where the story is the focus and the whole point is to do very fast drawings, be very economical, because people are just going to breeze through. They're just looking at a page for a few seconds and then they're moving on. I don't know. I think they have that locked in, but it'd be interesting to see like a Western perspective, not really manga artwork style, but I don't know, something else. I'm really excited about thinking about this. Old Man is here, says manga is still focused on being entertaining. They're not trying to push the message, just have fun books that sell well. Chainsaw Man was just fun. I can tell you that. It is definitely not politically correct. There's a few things in there, but there were moments that I laughed out loud, and a few things I just twists and turns that surprised me, but it was just super fun. I've been expecting this for a while now. Yeah, it'd be fun to talk to you sometime about this Statistical Zero. You stream? Yeah, I think I've been on a stream with you before. Not here, but it'd be fun to stream with you sometime. Pick your brain. Let's see. A lot of manga also gets turned into anime. It turns let's see. In turn, that anime helps drive sales of manga. There's nothing comparable in the West, right? And again, I'm no expert on the matter, but my understanding is that the anime follow the manga pretty religiously. Like it's pretty close to what happens. Maybe a few differences in plot points, but it's like, hey, here's the same story, but we've just pumped it up and it has color and it has, so I don't know. It just proves that a story is great, I guess. And then it goes on to do something else. We don't do that much animation here like that. I mean, there's some, like you'll see some DC animation stuff, and I'm not talking about Pixar animation or anything like that. Disney stuff, like you just don't like it. It always seems like it's Netflix or bust. Like it'd be great to have a series, and the whole point is it's animated. The characters look the same. Like it's still the same world. It's just another way or enhancing the same story. And obviously I love Western comics, but what I'm saying is it only seems smart. Like everyone that has YouTube channels that's talking about Western comic books, everyone then immediately concedes the fact, oh yeah, anime is way better, or I mean manga is way better. So why don't we take what they've done and learn something? I don't have all the answers, but it's something I've been thinking hard on. French comics are also dope AF. Now that Americans have discovered manga, they need to discover French comics. I actually got recommended a few French comics. I should do that too. I need to buy one and just get into it and read it. If you have one in particular that you'd recommend, let me know, Brian. Denji's first kiss is gnarly. Oh, I didn't get there yet. I haven't got to a kiss yet. I got to his hug, but yeah, I want to see. Hey, Ara, great to see you. Hey, we're going to see you Saturday. That's right. Looking forward to it. Plastic City Comic Con. I have books shipped there, graphic novels. I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to bring with me on the airplane. It's going to be really fun. My first convention experience. And I'm just planning on learning everything I can, talking to as many people as I can. I think it's going to be a blast. So I'm excited to see you there. Clint, I'll need to send you a Megafist book, 200 pages of American manga. Yeah, you're clearly doing something. I just need to buy one. That's all. That's all I need to do. Do you have a campaign currently up, Tyler, or do you sell it on your store? Let me know. Send me a DM because I want to buy one like today. Send it to me tonight, and I will buy it because I'd like to read it. Send me a DM when we can figure it out. It'll be great to have a chat with you. Excellent. Yeah, let's talk. After that team bookmark campaign fulfills, going to start on my manga style graphic novel bookmark, Destroyer of Stickers. Love it. Bookmarks greater than stickers. Is that what this is about? AL is here. Hello. Great to see you. Yeah. The other thing I noticed too, and again, I'll do a video with this, but it seems like every manga just has clearly on the back, there is a rating label. That's important to me. I'm kind of surprised, always surprised at Western comics, how there's like no indication of what the book is about or what the age range is appropriate for. It's frustrating as a parent. And so I've been putting it on every single one of my books. I think starting Downcast 3 was my first one, but I'm always going to do that so people know, they have an idea of what the book is, what's going to be in it. I think it helps. Like it's not a censorship issue. Like it has nothing to do with censorship. It's just letting people know what is in the book. So like if you want to buy it for your kid, you can, you know. I love just having ratings on the books. You know what to expect. All right, so here's my poll. Let me get to my profile here. Oh my goodness. I don't know why my computer is just struggling here. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Real slow, I know, guys. All right, here we go. I want to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised by the outcome of this poll. The physical size of manga is really convenient for reading and storing on a bookshelf. If a strain of American comic books adopted the manga size, would you buy them? Assuming the story and art look great. And that's the thing is, I'm just focused on the size of the book, like physically, and that also is assuming that because a single page takes up less space, you can make more pages. And because you're not putting as much detail in any given panel, you can do more pages. And so the detail is actually spread out over the course of several pages. I feel like after reading Chainsaw Man, I didn't feel like I was missing the surroundings, you know? Like I know he's in a city somewhere in Japan. I know, like I've seen some great buildings in there and stuff, but it wasn't like backgrounds far as often as you see in Western comic books. And I guess it's partially because that's what we expect. I don't know. But it slows your reading down with all that detail, which is, again, fantastic. I love Western comic books, but I'm just curious about this, if you did something that competed in this space, very specifically to get into the space. 76% of people said, sure, I'd buy a manga sized. You could pick a number of sizes for sure that would work. But the reason why manga size is because probably people already have manga at home on their shelf. So you're not trying to make them adopt an entirely new size. Maybe it's just a small change. But 23% of people said no, they just want to stick with the current size. I can't imagine what happened when they changed from like golden age size comic book dimensions to so on and so on. I wonder if that was really tough for people. I know it can be kind of a pain. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books, I have tried to collect some of them. I don't have the most important ones, but the most important ones are magazine size. That's so obnoxious because they're just clunky. They're bigger than everything else. Does this matter? Yes, it does. Because getting even down to distribution, if you're getting into bookstores, they don't want books that are shaped like American comics currently. So it makes things difficult unless they have a graphic novel section, of course. But it's just an easier sell. For printing costs, I got to look into this. I am curious how much it costs at a printer. I did talk to my printer, and maybe you remember Alterna Comics. I'll have to ask Peter about it when he gets on. They when they were doing graphic novels, they were smaller. Like they weren't manga size, I don't think, but they were not US comic size. They were a little bit smaller. I think they were like 6x9, something like that. And I talked to my printer about that size, and they could save me a lot of money just going down that small, which was interesting. So again, I think there could be more economical ways. No wonder why they sell it for as cheap as they do. I don't know, something to consider. Having said that, would I get rid of the current size for comic books? No, absolutely not. People have bought into them. I think it's a fantastic size. It works for me. But I don't know, having a specific series that's targeted at this size might not be such a bad idea. I think it could be cool. So, all right. Speaking of cool, look at that. Peter Sameti's in the house.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
I've got my AC on. Is it too loud?
I hear it a little bit, but it doesn't
Okay.
seem too loud to me.
All right, because I'm not shutting it off. Just want to know if it's too loud.
Okay. Well, in that case, we will go with it no matter what. But I think it's fine. Honestly, I hear you fine. So
Okay, good.
So yeah, I was just talking about. Have you read any Chainsaw Man at all?
No.
I just read the first volume yesterday, and it was a lot of fun.
It's good?
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, people are enjoying that. I'm hearing about it anyway.
It's fun. Part of it too, I gotta say, it's just having like the cover with a really crazy looking character on the front. That's that's a good selling point, which I know that you're really big on. Like, gotta have great characters. That's how you
Yeah,
sell
yeah.
books. So
Yeah, it's a visually interesting character, that's for sure.
absolutely. And we're gonna shift gears here and talk about another visually interesting character. First off, I gotta say, a big reason why I'm doing the stream tonight. One, it's been a little while since I streamed, but two, the Alternative Summer Comics campaign needs some attention, and I think it's partially just because there's been so many crowdfunding campaigns launching at the same time. So we're gonna draw some attention to that tonight as
Cool.
well. Yeah, I think that'll be good. But King Cryptid, you're at $26,000 right now. That's fantastic. 700 backers too. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I hope we can get to 775 so it could be the most backed alternate campaign that we've ever had.
That
Not
would be
the
great.
highest funded, but the most backed. I would love to get to 1,000 backers though. So this is this is the second 30 days, but then we're going to go in demand. So at least there's time to reach even greater heights with this campaign. But thank you guys. If you're in the chat and you've backed, if you've supported and spread the word, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is one I'm really looking forward to. And I know my son has really been getting into comics finally. I'm always like trying to brainwash him, but
How old is he?
he is 11.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's at a good age. But yeah, this is one that he's excited about. I think it's going to hit him at the right time, perhaps, and he'll enjoy it as well as me.
Nice.
I'm excited to read it too.
Kids love monsters, and there's a lot of monsters in this book.
Yeah, absolutely. This is new. I haven't seen this. Is he dismembering a deer?
Yeah, this is a panel from issue 2. So I've got a history of King Cryptid up on the campaign page now, and I kind of put little images to go with the different paragraphs. But this is Nick Hunter's art, and he did a great job with issue 2. But that's him right there. Yeah, he's making quick work of a deer.
It's great. Have you, and then you're doing the lettering on this? Is that correct?
Yep,
Cool.
that's correct.
Love it. It's great to see the return of thought balloons too.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
because he's kind of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but King Cryptid's kind of a lonely character. Is that correct?
I guess in a way, I mean, he's alone, but I don't necessarily would classify him as lonely.
He's okay with being alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a solitary character.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But he's
That was
certainly
fair.
not alone,
Yeah.
like
Well-
in terms of loneliness.
And he'll be obviously he's interacting with some kids that happen upon him. He's got monsters he's fighting, all sorts of interesting things that are going on in King Cryptid. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we got a lot of stories to tell, so this is the ground floor of that campaign. The first 4 issues of it are up right now. You can get them for $15, and you get a blank variant of number 1 as well. So if you're an artist, get that first 4 issues with the blank variant and draw on the blank variant, sell it, and make money off of backing the campaign.
That's the way to go.
Can't get better than that.
Good stuff. We'll also check in on Dracula here real quick. We're getting close to $20,000. I did extend the campaign. We got a couple more weeks left to go. Things are already funded. The campaign is doing well. The book is at the printer. They've actually started printing it. They explained to me the process that they're on, and it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm just,
What did they tell you?
I don't even remember the word for it, but it was like them getting the pages in the proper order or something like that.
Okay. Pagination, did they say that?
That could be the word. Yeah.
Plating?
Not plating. It was
Signatures?
not signatures. It could be pagination, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, pagination is just the order of the pages. So
Okay.
it might be that.
Okay. Yeah, that because the other 2 words I'm already familiar with. So that one, I think that could be it. Anyway,
You're just like, cool, man.
yeah. I mean, that sounds
That's the
sounds
thing.
fantastic.
You should be doing that. All right, good.
Yeah,
As
pagination.
long
Is
as
something
that's
wrong?
not a problem.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they said it was a good thing. So we're looking at early August. They were saying August 2nd. It would be shipping from the printer. It's still on track currently to hit that, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. It should go fine though, because I got at the printer so early.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that as well. If you haven't backed it, check it out. I'll post a link.
Yeah, congrats. You're super close to 20,000.
Thank you. Yeah, feels good. There's something about hitting 20K that just any round number really every 10, but 20K is like, I don't know. To me, it's just an important number. It works well.
Yeah, that's true.
So speaking of round numbers, we're going to take a look over at the Alterna Comics Summer 2020 campaign, pre-order campaign. This is one that, in my opinion, there were so many campaigns launching. And I know I had Dracula, King Cryptid was launching. There were just so many books launching that I think this one got criminally overlooked.
It's that, but I mean, that's you being very nice about it. What I really think what it is that I think backers are waiting for their spring campaign books.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to get those books out. I'm almost done with fulfillment on the spring campaign. There's about 105 or so that have to go out of the 469 or something like that. So we got 10 days left to reach that $10,000 goal. I really think we'll hit that. And then we'll go in demand. We'll sell the advertising there. Worst comes to worst, we'll just maybe print a couple weeks later than we would have before. But fulfillment will probably start towards the end of September, early October, at the latest. Might not even be that late, really. So at this point in time, I really think it's just backers waiting on getting their spring orders.
The last thing, yeah.
So, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, maybe you're out there too and you've slept on this one, but this is one where it definitely makes a difference. We want to hit that 10K. 10 days left to do it, so I'm not too stressed out about it, but I always like to see the number go up and hit that as soon as possible. So check this out. In particular, this is Downcast issue number 6 right here, with Carver on the front, and I'm going to look at it a little bit closer.
You got the bigger image at the bottom there, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. I love this one when Nacho turned it in because it's a really up close look. Not only that, but then you get the reflection of Joanne and his knife, and I don't know, it's a more intimate cover, and I like when you kind of switch it up. It's, they're not always like this, but it just feels like a nice break from the full body shot cover. So it was pretty fun to see that. And Carver's a super fun character to write. He's got a very interesting past, and it's going to only get more interesting as the story goes on. So yeah, if you haven't backed it yet, if you're collecting Downcast and single issues, this is a great place to do it. They'll be the first place that you can get this particular issue. Sorry, I have a girl screaming outside the door. Can you hear that?
Is it yours?
Yes, that's my daughter.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, they're it's time to brush teeth and go to bed, so she is not interested in going to bed.
She's just very, very excited about that cover.
Yeah, she's terrified. He's got a knife. Yeah,
with that one too, the image is so in your face that I felt we didn't really need much writing on the cover for that. So I left the tagline off, make it a little bit more mysterious with it. And I think we still have a tagline on the Unit 44 issue, and I believe the Baron Rat Cheeseland issue. I'm not quite sure. I know the Wolf and Bats has got a little bit there too. But no, so we don't have a tagline. I was gonna have him say something. And I was like, his expression says it all. So we'll just leave it with that.
He's pretty happy with himself at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear a kid screaming. Yeah. I'm like, I got the door closed and everything, but yeah, it was not quiet. This is the other one too. A lot of people are collecting. It came out on a Wednesday. I know for me, I came to the party a little late, but I decided I have to collect. It came out on a Wednesday. So I've been retroactively going back onto eBay to get earlier issues I don't have. But now I'm getting caught up. I still think there are a few I'm missing. I've got to check exactly what I have, but I've been keeping up on all the new ones. This is a great place to do it to make sure you don't miss out.
Some of them are pretty pricey. Did you luck out?
Yeah, the one that you said was the most, I think it was number 4, maybe? I forget.
2.
Usually
2 or the first printing of 1.
Okay, I think it was number 2. But one that you said was you thought was the most rare, I did find it on eBay and I hurried and snagged a copy. It was the only one I saw on eBay too. So
Oh wow.
yeah, at the time. So yeah, I got that one. I think I still need number one though. And
Do you have the direct sales and the newsstand version? I don't know how crazy you want to
no,
go with it. The
I don't.
newsstand versions are very difficult to find. And it's just like in comic collecting in general, the newsstand is always worth more than the direct sale one. But yeah, it's quite a hunt for some of those earlier issues. But I've seen some people spend like $40 for issue 2 or 1 or the first printing, because
Wow.
there's 2 printings of issue 1, and there's no other printings of, they're all first printings for the rest of them. We don't go back to print on them. The first issue had some very odd stipulations as to why we went back to print immediately. The book is about half the size too. So with issue 1, the first printing is kind of rare. It's got a red Alterna logo. The second printing has a yellow goldish Alterna logo. But yeah, it's fun seeing people into the. It came out on a Wednesdays. We got issue 20 on the winter campaign coming up, and Frankie B. Washington's doing a really awesome cover for that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's got a big, massive kaiju, and he's crushing the
course.
number 20,
Oh,
which is
sweet.
it's awesome. I haven't showed it yet, but he's all done with it, and I'm waiting because it's gonna be a little bit of a a little bit of a wait, but it'll be here before we know it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I got to run something past you. I'll just do it now. If you don't want to talk about it on the air, then we'll just move on. Okay. I don't know if it's a big deal or not, but for the next Downcast, I have a flashback that takes up an entire issue. What will be an entire issue, and it's all drawn by different artists. It's all drawn by Eric Weathers. So in it makes sense in a certain order, but I was thinking, hey, we could just call it the Monstro on that one instead of Downcast number whatever. It could be Monstro. But I don't know if that because that would technically make it a new title if that confuses things.
Yeah, that's horrible. Don't do that, Clint.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so and that's fine too because it works in a particular order, but I just thought that could be kind of fun. I don't know, but maybe
That could be
confuse
kind of confusing.
things. Yeah,
Goodness.
it would
They'll
definitely
think
could be.
this Monstro number 1. They'll think, or no, it's Downcast. It'll be what, Downcast number 8, 7. What would that be?
Let's see. It'd be Let's see. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. It'd be number 9. Issue
Number
9.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it as 9. If you could
Okay.
still work in Monstro as on the tagline or the cover, but
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and it's yeah, all flashback, but it's important. When I was talking about it with my wife too, it was intended to be read right there as issue 9, and I think for a good reason. So
is it like his origin issue?
it's not his origin, but it's an important event back in his time on Earth. So when he's on Earth before he goes up to the city of Strata, he's basically on a hunt to kill as many of those gods as he can, and he is basically checking them off his list. He's got a few that are in the ocean that he's fought and killed, and this is a story about basically the one that got away, essentially. And that one that got away is it's an important story point. So for what's happening currently on Strata, that's probably as much as I can say right now without accidentally
Well,
giving
yeah,
away too much.
if it's like a Monstro-centric story and it doesn't really have Joe and Jax, you can just have something in the tagline that's like Monstro's story, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Something, maybe more fun than that, but something along those lines.
yeah,
Yeah, if you do that and you take out the Downcast logo, and it's gonna look very weird. Or if you do like a one shot, I mean that just seems like you could just, it's all in the same universe. You don't need to do a. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of doing the one shots in the side series and
separate
all that
thing.
other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one thing when you have a dedicated title that's kind of launching and it's doing a separate thing. So if you had a Monstro title and it was going to be a mini series, let's say maybe, and it was a 4-5 parter, and it was about his origin or something like that, a flashback mini series to explain something.
Yeah,
And that's kind of one thing. But even then, I feel like you could just work that into Downcast and just have it as a story arc.
Yeah. Yeah, and the plan right now anyway is just to have like in the crowdfunded release, it'll still be in the same book in the right order and everything because it is part of the same story. It's just convenient that one artist, Eric, uh, has drawn the whole thing. So, yeah. Anyway, it'll be cool. When I'll send it to you when it's all finished and you can give it a look over.
Is
but
it more than one issue?
It's one issue exactly.
Oh, it's one issue. Okay, 'cause I was gonna say it'd be kind of fun if you were doing like a two or a three parter. You could have your crowdfunded release could be Monstro, but then meanwhile it's a Downcast series single issue thing.
Yeah.
So I mean you could still do it that way, but
Yeah.
it's up to you.
I'm still trying to figure it out. The thing is, for story reasons, I'm like, you really should read it here. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, I'll read if it was separate in a separate book, read it here and then read the others. You could do that, but it's just going to have the most impact if you read it at a certain point. So,
Because it sets up events to come, or does it tie up events that just happen?
both actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, I love issues like that when it was in an ongoing series that they sometimes were more like character pieces or a flashback or a side story, and it was
Yeah.
still within the series. I feel like a lot of the bigger companies got away from that mindset, and they got scared from the bigger numbers. And I mean, the mainstream industry is a different beast altogether. But yeah, I loved issues like that back in the day when you would have, issue 275 has nothing to do with what happened in 274 or 273. But this one sounds like it directly is important to what happened before and what's going to happen after. So it makes
Yeah.
sense to leave it as issue 9 then. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it could stand alone, but yeah, it reminds me of kind of, not completely, but I took a lot of inspiration from Frank Miller's Daredevil run. I said that for this particular story arc. And when Elektra is introduced, it's like, okay, here's a new person there. He has some history, but then he has that issue that's a flashback of him with Elektra. And then you understand the depth of what has happened and then what happens the next issue. It's not like that, really. I don't think anyone would draw that conclusion, but it is in that characters introduced.
It's in the same vein.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's awesome, though. Regardless, when people get it, I think they're going to love it. I'm really excited about that issue. Eric's doing a great job. So is Nacho. This is like some of the best stuff that I've done.
Nice.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Yeah, Monstro special. Benjamin Soto, there was a Hulk issue that there was about the leader. I think you can do the same thing with Downcast. Just have a villain focused issue. Yeah, I mean, and that's the fun thing is you can really like get in and flesh out a villain or whatever if you want. But this is for sure like it just made sense and it needs to be there. And it especially since we're changing artists, I thought, yeah, flashback to change artists, it'll actually work with it pretty well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
So, yeah, check out the summer campaign. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. I can tell you these alternate campaigns do come. Peter's never let me down yet. I always get everything I've ordered. Looking forward to the next one. If you want to wait till you get your last one, that's cool too. But yeah, do support us. Oh, you already have Alternaween.
Yeah, Alternaween is the week 4 bundle. Well, I mean, it's technically, I guess, week 4 now in a way. Well, I guess
Yeah.
not just yet. But week 3 was Timey Tim, and he sold out within one day. So I just figured, let's just put the Alternaween bundle a little early for week 4. But it's technically been a little bit more than the week 4. But yeah, so right now you could get like I think it's 25 Alternaween books. So you can go in there and pick if you want all ages only, all ages and teen, mixed, so it'll have mature in there too. And then you get a big assortment of books, and you can hand them out as trick-or-treats for Halloween. But we'll offer these again on the website, on alternacomics.com, but it's one of those, you're going to have to wait till September. So if you'd rather not be antsy about it and just get in your Alternaween stuff now, you could get your bundle and help out the campaign too. And this way, you don't have to worry about it. You just go, okay, I got my Alternaween stuff set. It's definitely shipping in time because this stuff is going to ship out for September. And you don't have to play catch up and just order, because we do very limited, like only maybe 20 available during September. This way, it doesn't get too much of an ordeal, and those usually sell out within like 3 or 4 days. So if you want to get them in early now, go for it. It's part of the campaign here.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's nice. I've missed that feature. I always like to do past 2 years in a row. I've done Alternaween. It's always fun to be handing out some comic books.
Yeah, kids love them.
Let's see, and then there are also the inventory issues. So
Oh yeah, when they had a backstock of issues just in case there was some kind of, you needed some time for the creative team, or things like that. But yeah, that's kind of it's a little different than what you're doing. You're not really doing an inventory issue, but at first that's what I thought you were doing.
oh
So
no,
if
yeah,
it ties in really directly to your storyline, yeah, definitely leave that.
no, yeah, it's a very important issue. So, um, Snuggy Jr. says, "Who's doing the monster single issue cover?" Well, Eric drew the entirety of the internal artwork, so Eric should be doing the cover. So that is the
Nice.
plan. It sounds like Eric's down with that too. So I told him, "Oh, by the way, I realized you do have to do a cover for the alternate issue." So, yeah. So I'm gonna, if this is what you're getting at, I'm gonna talk to Eric. If he's not doing it in original ink, he should, because I know people will want it. So yeah, I'll talk to Eric. I'm sure he knows that he should do that because he'll be able to sell it. Good stuff. All right. So if you can't, or if you haven't gotten this yet, do check it out. I'm refreshing just because, but I don't even know if I posted the link yet, actually. Let me post the link. I'm getting too distracted. There we
Well,
go.
I think you did it. You did it a couple minutes ago.
Okay. All right. We're doing it
Yeah.
then. Yeah. Stuggy Jr. says, I want it. I knew that's what you're getting at. Yeah. Talk to Eric, and I need to talk to Eric still, and we'll work that out. But he is finishing drawing the issue itself as well. So I don't know if he's got time yet to start on it, but he's got plenty of time before we need it. A lot of other great issues on it. This is the very last issue of Baron Rat, correct?
Yeah, last issue of anything that has to do with the Mr. Crypt universe, at least in terms of being labeled as such, because the last of anything Mr. Crypt is actually going to be, and it came out on a Wednesday, number 20. So we're going to have all of it's going to be a giant sized 80 pager. So we're going to have all of the Mr. Crypt shorts, the one pagers from it came out on a Wednesday. We're going to compile all of them that have been published before, and then there's still some that have not been published yet, and we're going to put those in that issue. So that's going to be the absolute last issue of anything that has to do with Mr. Crypt. But in terms of series-wise, yeah, this is the last Baron Rat issue, and the last Mr. Crypt issue technically was on the last campaign with Mr. Crypt and Friends number 3.
Yeah. Mr. Crypt had a good run. I love all those books. My kids love them. It's always one that I make sure I get every time it comes out. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Blood Realm. I don't remember which number that this is, but Blood Realm is always good. I got to go down and check it.
Yeah, that's number 10. That's number 10.
Number 10. All right. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I remember when Blood Realm number 1 came out.
Yeah, I think that was like 2018.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Blood Realm's fantastic series. Rob Geronimo, awesome creator. Got to support him. We talked about it. Came out on a Wednesday. This is the Preston Acevedo cover, correct?
Yeah, he did a great job. He painted that on canvas, and man, oh man, that's a killer cover. Really, really great job.
It's really good. I love the transparent. It came out on Wednesday up here.
Yeah,
The logo.
he threw a curveball at me with that one. I was like, "This is beautiful," but at the same time, I'm like, "Where the hell am I going to put the cover, the logo?" And so I was just, I looked at it and I said, maybe we could do a transparent thing.
Yeah.
So I made it transparent, and I think it still came out looking really cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely the first it came out on a Wednesday that we have that kind of transparent logo going on. I've only done that once before with Voidwalker number 4, where it was the same kind of situation. It wasn't quite of the same big piece at the top, but it was more about the fact that it was a little too awkward to cover up some of the figures that were at the top. so we did kind of a transparent logo for that issue. But this one was a lot of fun, and he did such a great job with it.
Yeah.
I hope he does something with these characters, because the artists that do the covers for it came out on a Wednesday. They technically own all of their monsters or characters, whatever it is that they create. I hope Preston does something with this character.
That'd be awesome. Then this would be the first appearance of that character.
Yeah,
Or
yes,
those
it will.
characters.
Yeah.
Unit 44 is also on this campaign. This is starting kind of a new trend with Unit 44, right? I don't know if I explained that
Well,
right.
issue 5 was kind of the new format in a way.
Oh, yeah.
So the first 4 issues of Unit 44 were kind of like a mini series, but then we just kept on extending the series. So now issue 5, issue 6, and so on are all ongoing and episodic. And every issue is like a case file. I think that's a perfect way to tell this series. So I'm so glad that Wes decided to do that. I know there was a time where Wes kind of was hanging it up, and he was just really busy with everything. And I think he got the comic bug bit him back again, and I think he figured out a way to make the series really fun for him too. Because it's kind of exhausting coming up with a 4-parter or something like that every time. It feels sometimes like you're dragging the story out. There's not a lot of stories that you really need to tell in 3, 4, 5, or 6 parts. You could just have one nice solid issue. I think that's what comics were built off of.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that he's doing it this way. I think it's perfect for the series, and he's going to have a chance to introduce so many more plots, ideas, characters. So this one's fun. I think he's got it's a multiverse thing, and it's not a multiverse in the way that the big 2 do multiverses. This is more just like having fun with seeing the different parallel universe versions of all these characters. There's like this little thing that goes off, and you'll see them as alien creatures or as apes or as reptiles or as there's all these different things that it keeps changing, and you see the versions of them. And at some point in time, there's a little bit of a crossover with another Alterna character. So this is kind of one of the first, I guess, crossovers, blending in the Alternaverse, I guess, if someone wants to call it that. But so it's kind of a fun issue and a little historic, I guess, at the same time.
That's cool. Love it. And then last but not least, Wolf and Batsy, which has been a very popular series, it seems like. Yeah, it's been going strong. It's already on issue 4, 5. What is this?
5.
5. There we
Yeah.
go. Already. It feels like it just came out. I guess it was like this fall when it first came out. And yeah, issue 5 going strong. So it's great to see that one moving as well.
Yeah, people are really loving that series, and it gets better and better with every issue. So really looking forward to seeing issue 7. And I think 7 to 10 or something like that is a previously unpublished story arc.
Oh, cool.
So I could be wrong about that. I definitely know it starts at 7, but I'm excited to start seeing that, because that would be really cool, because of the fact that it would be the first time anywhere that those stories were published. Because there's a bunch of these Wolf and Batsy issues that remastered. So they've been published before, either self-published by Brian or published at another publisher years ago. But issue 7 to 10, I think, those are 100% unpublished and new. Those are the first new to Alterna, and we'll be sure to mention that on the cover too, that these are 100% new issues. And because of that, on issue 7, we're going to have a blank variant available with it, because it kind of signifies the first official Alterna version of Wolf and Batsy.
It's cool. I gotta say, there's the Alterna auction coming up Thursday night, and I want to draw some stuff, and so I decided to do a Women of Alterna trading card series, and I did one here of Batsy. So it was kind of fun to draw
Very nice.
somebody else's character. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Came out good, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I tried a different style than I have been trying. So, yeah, there's Joanne right there.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun. So I'm hoping I'll have a few of those available on Thursday for that auction as well.
I guess you've got to draw Abigail Moore, of course, from Tinseltown.
Yes, yeah, she is actually next on my list.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. Uper Wedge says, Clint, are you potentially bringing any other of your properties to Alterna? So right now it's like I've got Fatal and Dracula that we know of, and neither of those are going to Alterna because they're just not like cut out for Alterna. But for sure, I've got I've one idea in particular I really want to take to Alterna, but I am not ready yet for that. So I'll say it like that. How's that a good way to say it? But even for any other titles, it's still, I go through the submission process. So we got to make sure it's the right fit for Alterna. But I love Alterna,
Gotta
so
keep it on the up and up.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Don't be like those Twitter folks out there that they'll send me a DM or even worse, sometime they'll just tag me in something and it's a submission.
Yeah,
And I'm like, don't tweet me a submission.
that's not how it works.
That's very odd. What's even better is when they're not even following me. I'm like, that's very strange. I get a lot of submissions from people who aren't following me or Alterna, which I also find is strange because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what if I said yes? You don't even like the company or the books enough to follow us on Twitter. So it's just kind of very awkward. I'm like, do you even really realize what we publish? But it's very strange. It's a strange world out there. People are dying to get their stuff published by anybody, and that really shouldn't be the attitude. You should really look into the publisher, be a fan of the publisher, understand the kind of books that they publish, understand their submissions guidelines, and not just hoping that your book is a good fit for them, but hoping that they're a good fit for your book and for you. But unfortunately, there's too many people out there that are they're jumping at the chance just for anybody to publish their stuff, and then they'll work it out afterwards, and that's how you get into a bad situation. So always make sure that the publisher is a good fit for you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so there's I don't know. Yeah, I got another idea, but I still right now as far as new stuff, Downcast is pretty well the focus. Obviously, I'm finishing up Fatal, Dracula. I'm getting sent out here pretty soon in about a month. So my hands are full, but I love Alterna and definitely have other ideas for submissions. I gotta go up here too. So the trading card pack, these are exclusive to the campaign. So if your question is, well, why back through the campaign versus buy online or wherever else, this is a good reason to go for the campaign. The foil card this time is Mr. Crypt, which I love the cover here. That's sort of
Yeah, it came in the other
in
day
the background.
So
Oh,
we
you
have
got
that.
it. Here, let me make you big.
This is all banged up, this one, but it came in. So,
That's so
yeah.
cool. That looks great.
Yeah.
And the back's foil too. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, certain parts of the back are also there it is. It's kind of focusing.
That's cool. Yeah, I love it. I love how there's just so it's like the back here is foil, but Mr. Crypt here in the front is not.
Yeah,
So it kind of has
pops
that
out a bit.
Yeah, I love it. It's some separation from the background. And so that's fitting because this is the last official Mr. Crypt issue, or Mr. Crypt universe issue with Baron Rat. So you got to pick that up. T-Bird and Throttle is the next one. And then, of course, Downcast. Here we have Joe from Downcast. And so that's...
You got both of those too.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if you've seen those yet. Have you seen those?
I haven't seen them in person, on stream like this. I just seen the picture up here, but that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Good
it.
stuff. But yeah,
Fun,
I
fun.
love how, and then if we get King Cryptid in there, which he's available on, I believe it's like this. Yeah. He's available on the King Cryptid campaign. So once you get the whole 9-pocket page there, you'd have that background connecting.
That's
Actually
cool.
have, let me see. I got the whole page.
It'll work in your trade binder
Yeah.
really well. There
So
you go.
you could see it like that.
Very cool. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are starting to get into the trading card collections because there's so many in crowdfunding campaigns. And so if you got a binder already that you're collecting stuff in, this is a really great addition. So, do check it out. Let us know, too, if there's any questions about this campaign, and we'd be happy to answer them. If you don't mind, too, well, I posted the link there. If you haven't backed it, do it. Oh, let us know too when you backed, and then I'll refresh it. We can praise you like you deserve. Um, but I want to talk a little bit about this weekend. We have Plastic City Comic Con. I'm
Yeah.
going. I'm committed. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there.
There's a lot of alternate guys that are going to be there.
Frankie's
Tyler
gonna be
Wetland,
there.
Frankie,
Tyler.
Dave Lucarelli.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, Keith runs it, so he's there.
Yeah.
We got Amy as well in the chat here. Amy's
Yeah.
also running it too, so she's going to be there, of course. And let's see, there's also Spencer, and goodness, there's so many. I think there's like 7 or 8 people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And probably Dave is coming the farthest, I'd imagine. He's coming
Yeah,
from California.
Cali. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's crazy.
yeah, that'll be nuts. So one of my goals is just to get it came out on a Wednesday. I've been cornering Frankie to do a sketch cover for me and then get all the alternate creators there to sign it. That'll be fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've got an alternate jersey that on the back it's alternate and it's 06 is the number. I want all of you guys to sign that too.
Cool. Yeah, that's the time to to get all the signatures. That'll be really fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it mainly just honestly for the experience. There's Amy's Birdhouse. Speaking for Keith, we can't wait to see you all. Yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting there and talking with readers face to face, potential readers face to face, and trying my hand at selling some books, obviously. But just the convention experience, I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be, it'll just round out my experience as a comic book creator. It'll be good.
Well, it'll spoil you. So
Yeah.
don't go into your next show thinking it's going to be as fun as Plastic City. I've done a lot of conventions and a lot of signings, and Plastic City is easily the best one I've ever done.
Yeah.
I've done New York Comic Con, Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh, those are big.
So nothing compared to Plastic City in terms of just the amount of people who were there to get books, to talk to the creators. Just the atmosphere is so good. You might have, I don't know, you might have more foot traffic, obviously, like a New York Comic Con, but maybe only 0.01% are actually there to get your book.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like that with Plastic City. You'll feel like you actually saw everybody that attended the show.
Yeah. That's great.
It's usually about 2,000 or so people. I'm pretty sure that they get at Plastic City.
Wow.
But it's like you'll actually see like 1,500 or so people actually at your table. From the way that they walk around, it's great.
And they're there for comics,
Yeah.
not for celebrities or whatever else they have at conventions now.
It's very comic centric show. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be. I think that'll be fun. Yeah. So I brought some. I'm gonna bring some little things, trading cards and things like that. Nothing that nobody has had an opportunity to get already. But yeah, I've got all these extras from crowdfunding campaigns and trading card wax packs and pogs and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna bring a bunch of those little knickknacks and I don't know. Yeah, it'll be fun.
That'd be
think
cool.
the focus too for me is like I want to collect email addresses. I don't know. You have any advice for me on if like I have a QR code and a landing page to get email addresses?
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, usually people have like a little sign-up sheet, and then they'll write down
That'll work too.
the email address. But you could try doing it the technological way. It's just sometimes I think at those things anyway. In my own experience, it's kind of a little tough sometimes to get consistent internet. But definitely do the QR code thing and have like that backup, so they can actually have on a sign up sheet. For the email, the newsletter. Something like that too that's really fun is if you actually bribe them. So you would give them something for a sign up. So even if it's something really stupid, like you bring Dum Dums or like Hershey Kisses or something. Whatever, and you're like, take one and sign up for the newsletter. It's just anything that you could do. Sometimes people have done like raffle tickets, and you basically pick a raffle number, you sign up, and you could win like, I don't know, a signed issue or something, and you'll ship it out to them. If they win, you'd notify them through email, that kind of a thing. But there's all kinds of different ways you could go about it. But just in case technology fails, definitely have that old school pen and paper backup. You have to
Yeah.
bribe people, Roland. You
Bribery.
have to. This is indie comics.
It's incentives. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Um, AL says, wishing I could be there, but still supporting you all.
Yeah, thank
Making
you,
me
AL.
feel bad. Oh, no, don't feel bad. We get it. I'm actually going to New York City Comic Con again this year. Will you be there, Amy? Curious. Yeah, I'm definitely not going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there. I think maybe a couple of people from Alterna might be there. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that. I think that's why she's asking too. I think Keith and Amy were at New York Comic Con last year. It was very awkward. New York Comic Con had sent me something. They wanted me to be on a panel last year with a bunch of people who hate me.
Oh,
And I was like, I'm not going to get into the whole. You want me to be on a panel with most of these panel people have me blocked and have said horrible, horrible things about me and my company. I don't think that this is going to be a very interesting panel in the way that you think it would be. And I just was like, oh no, thanks for the invite, but it's not going to work out this year.
gosh,
But it was interesting to see
That-
that invite come through.
that could be weird.
I appreciate the thought.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm considering. There's a strong possibility that I'll be at Salt Lake FanX, which is a very big convention. So it's probably
Oh, yeah,
more.
that's a good sized one. Yeah.
It's very big, yeah. But it's definitely. I mean, when I went last year, just as an attendee, there were a lot of comic book creators there, which was good to see. There were even more artists though, that just selling prints, and then obviously there's a whole bunch of all the other stuff that has nothing to do with comics, which is fine. But yeah, I expect that to be pretty different. But it's just so close to home that I'm like, I should probably be there. So, yeah, I don't know if I can find somebody to come share a booth or something. I think that would be
Did
be
you
fun.
already get the table or no?
Not yet. I should
Try
probably be
sending,
applying pretty soon.
If it's
Yeah.
a local show in particular, try sending them an email and say that you're a local creator. You'll promote them in the show on Twitter and on your YouTube. Could you get a discounted table or even a comp table?
Mm,
Well, the worst thing they could do is either ignore the email or say no.
yeah.
But you'll find that a lot of the time they'll actually say, "Oh yeah, sure."
Oh,
and they'll
yeah.
give you like half off a table or even a free table.
Oh,
Try it. Doesn't hurt to try.
That'd be great. Yeah, it'd make it a whole lot easier to get a profit
Yeah.
with the table cost not being
every
there. And
every
and I live
local
here, so-
creator should try that.
Yeah.
Every local and I don't know what Keith and Amy are doing, but I mean they should easily be able to get comped or free tables at local shows. Just being
Yeah.
like, hey, we run Plastic City. It's better than your show. You're lucky I'm here. So give me a discount, and maybe I'll
Yeah.
think about giving you a discount at ours.
Right. Leverage. That's what
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, old man, I backed the summer pre-order campaign. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. We got to refresh it. I don't know if it's too early or how long ago it is, but we will refresh it. There it goes. It went up.
Nice. $8 away from 8,100. Thank you so much.
Old man, you are the man. We appreciate it. Yeah, this is getting close. I think, 10 days left. I think we'll hit the goal for sure before the 10
we'll hit
days.
the goal. Well, the big
Uh,
problem too, aside from, I know that there are, I know that there's definitely people waiting, and I appreciate the people who aren't waiting and they jump on it. But also, I know that there's people waiting because I'll ship them their item, and then when they get it, I see that they back immediately. So I know that there's people in the past couple of days that are back because they just got their spring campaign stuff.
Yeah.
But another thing of why this is a little slower than the rest is honestly, I've not had a lot of time to specifically promote this. So it's one of those things where there's the King Cryptid campaign going on, and then there's so many other things going on with fulfillment. So I wish there was 2 or 3 more of me to be
Yeah.
able to promote this properly. But we'll reach it. We'll hit the 10,000. I know that the Alterna backers will will come through. Even if we had like some massive $1,500 final closeout day kind of stream or something, we've hit I think 2 or 3 thousand on streams before for the closeout. So I'm not necessarily too worried, but at the same time, I'm completely aware that we could definitely be doing more to push this, and myself absolutely included in that. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it was the perfect storm of a lot of different events in terms of so many things. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of campaigns going on, but at the same time, that's not something that I really think about too much, because there's also campaigns that go on and then they have a massive, amount of people backing. But that's the importance though too of building your own platform and your own group of people who are actually going to support what you're bringing to the table, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what anyone else is doing. If you're building up your audience, then they'll be there for you when you have something going on. So it's all just about that. And there's a lot of stuff too with Twitter and YouTube, with the way the algorithm works nowadays. It's constantly like a weird carnival game. You're trying to shoot the arrow at the thing, but it keeps moving, and it's like, how do you make sense of the algorithm of things to make sure that it's actually hitting, and you're getting through the noise. So figuring all that kind of stuff out in an ever increasingly technologically heavy world is exhausting, but
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. That's why I'm like, YouTube can't be everything. It's super helpful, but yeah, I'm just mailing lists have been really big for me, and that's why I'm like, yeah, at a convention, I really want to build up my mailing list, and yeah, just keep grinding. So
Yeah.
love to see it though. Great books coming through Alterna, super affordable campaign as well. We'll go through the perks here real quick. We did talk about the Alternaween bundle, but if you're handing out comic books to kids this Halloween, maybe it's a tradition, you do it every year, this is a great opportunity to get on now. You'll get them in time for Halloween, so you won't have to stress about it as it gets closer. Build your own bundle. This is a good route to go. You pay $1, get into the back end, and you can just make exactly the collection of books that you want, which are here from the add-on list. It's significant. There's a lot of books here to pick from. Make your own bundle. The summer 2020 bundle. This is all of the new books coming out. Make it easy.
I'm sorry, Clint. You keep saying it's the summer 2020 bundle, and I have to correct you.
Okay, what is it? This is the digital.
2022.
Oh, I said 2020. You even just said it, and I didn't catch what was wrong. Holy cow!
I'm like, oh, those days, those very interesting days. It certainly feels like it's been 2020 for 2 years. That's for sure.
It really. The weird thing too is I think my brain is still thinking 2020. That was 2 years ago. But
Yeah, I was
still...
like, that's the third time I'm gonna say something, because
Oh
I think poor
gosh.
Clint is back in time, and we're all here in 2022. He's like, wait, what year is it?
Yeah, and seriously, the worst is you said it, and I was like, "What's wrong?"
And you're like, oh
Even-
yeah, it's digital, and I'm like, no, it's
That's
a little 2 years later.
that's not it. Yeah, 2022. I gotta practice that. Digital, $7. That's a really good value right there for $7. $15, still an incredible value. Imprint.
Oh yeah, 6 books, and the Blood Realm book is double sized too. So if you missed the Geronimo's campaign there for Blood Realm
yeah.
Wrath of Kings, you could pick up the issue right here. And the thing is, if you backed that campaign and you don't want doubles of it, you could just build your own bundle and get the 5 other issues. So that's the beauty of that.
Good stuff. Very true. Certified retailer bundle. If you are a retailer and you want those comic books, this is how you can get them. I'm sure there's other ways, but just this way, this is a great way. Old Man says, time stopped in 2020 for Clint. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's been weird. Timey Tim is all sold out. Man, he's Tiny Tim is a character. I almost want to see. Has there ever been it came out on a Wednesday story, just Tiny Tim
No,
Adventures?
and honestly, I'm a little shocked that no one has thought to just do that. I don't know if they maybe think there's like an IP rights issue or
Yeah,
something along those lines.
maybe.
But if anyone does want to do that, I grant you the license to create a Tiny Tim story if you'd wish to do that. He's been on covers. He's been like little cameo spots here and there. He's on he's on the hat of one of the kids in King Cryptid #3. Alex put him there, and he's taken on a life of his own. It's so strange, but yeah, he sold out pretty fast. I don't even think an action figure of myself would sell this fast.
Yeah, no, it's that's wild. That's great though. And does he work too? This replica?
Yeah, it's literally the exact thing.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that Timey and myself, we both sign his tush.
Oh.
Because these are clones,
Yeah.
you know.
We put them out there into the world, and they
Exactly.
will take over. Yeah, that's rad. Cool. So yeah, check it out. Back the summer 2022 campaign. That was a little bit better, huh? We appreciate all of you. Sorry, not on social media except here on YouTube, but I shill Alterna on other channels. Comment section. Hey, that's helpful. In fact,
Thank
that's
you, AL.
more helpful than
Good.
probably most social media. So that's great.
Nothing to apologize for.
Yeah. Roland says, as far as I'm concerned, it's December 552nd, 2022. There we go. Statistical Zero is back. Tiny Tim story would be awesome. It has to happen. Jasper Plan 9 says Tiny Tim strip should happen. Agreed. I do believe that I have done one with Tiny Tim some time ago. Of course you have.
Yeah, submit it then. Submit it
Yeah.
Statistical Zero. Send that in.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing out an opinion here, but I think it'd be cool to see a Statistical Zero. It came out on a Wednesday cover. I'm just throwing that out there into the universe.
It's getting better and better with at least when I see, because I think he works digitally too. I love seeing his traditional work though. His traditional stuff is just awesome, especially when he gets those watercolors out. It's nothing like traditional art as far as I'm concerned, but some people are very good at digital. But I love seeing Stato's digital and traditional stuff. But the traditional, it has a whole other life to it. So
Yeah.
that's the thing with it. Came out on Wednesday, and honestly, with all of our submissions, they're open 24/7. So if Stato has even a one pager that he wants to send in, go for it. You know,
Yeah.
again, the worst thing that can happen ever is that either something gets ignored or there's a no, and if anything, no's are just yeses, because they just point you down a different path that you're supposed to go down. So there really isn't anything such as no. It's just yes in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Jasper Plan 9 says marketing in Facebook normie comic groups is effective. I've actually seen some pretty good results from just Facebook in general and marketing. But I created a new Facebook page just for Sweet Comics. It's like just business. I'm going to be so strict about it. I deleted my Facebook because things got weird. People looking up my family and stuff. That was weird. So now I've changed things. It's going to be much less impersonal, or much more impersonal. But yeah, I'm gonna take a stab.
I used to
Facebook
be
again.
on Facebook, and then I left, and I've always found that the comic groups get really odd. So I would post something, and most people wouldn't really, give a crap about drama. But then you'd get one person in there that's like, "Don't listen to that guy. He's a Nazi."
Yeah,
And then they'd be like, "Oh my God, he's a Nazi. I can't support him."
yeah.
That random person on the internet just said that person's a Nazi.
Yeah, I saw one of those when I was on Facebook, directed at you, and I was like, "Dude, what? That's not true."
It
It's
doesn't
in-
matter
it's
anymore
insane.
what's true or not. It just matters if who said it the loudest on the internet.
Yeah,
and that
what-
makes them right.
It's just whatever they say. Statistical Zero says, "I'm working on something for Wednesday. Just want it to be right for you guys."
Nice.
Totally.
Looking forward to it.
Good stuff. I know a buddy that's looking for a publisher. Can I send him your way, Pete?
Well, no need to send him my way, but you can send him to alternacomics.com and let him read the submissions guidelines, and then he can decide whether or not he would like to submit. But absolutely, I mean, there's no one ever has to ask me if it's okay to submit to Alterna. You can go right ahead and do it. You don't need an in here. You don't need to know someone to get in. You just need to have a good comic and then follow the submission guidelines. I know it's very unlike. That's why I kind of give a little bit of leniency to people here and there when it's, you know, that they think like, oh, I got an in. You know, Pete's on Twitter. I can kind of be like, hey, will you take my submission? You don't need to do anything like that. There's no games here like the rest of the comic industry where it's about, you know, who you know or who you catch at the right moment. Just send in your submission the right way. I look at all of them, and if I think that it's on the cusp or it's really good, I'll talk to you and I'll see what we could do. Otherwise, if it's nowhere near what I'm thinking that we should be publishing at this point in time, I'll still respond back and I'll say, okay, thanks for submitting. You know, this isn't the right one, but maybe down the line it will be. But yeah, the submissions are always open on Alterna. So you never have to, you don't have to, and there's so many people that do that. I don't know if you got anybody ever doing it to you and saying, hey, could you drop in a good word for Pete and, you know, send something along and, you know, and just let me know and maybe that'll help. And I've certainly had a couple other Alterna creators that have said that to me, and I'm like, why do people do that? They don't need to do that.
Yeah, I used to a little bit, and not anymore. But I went a while there being super vocal about, like, I cannot do you any favors with anyone else, like even beyond Alterna. But yeah, it was just don't, yeah, because it really doesn't help. And at the end of the day, really, when you think about it. And again, I am not at all saying that Roland, your buddy's in this situation, but like for it to be on the merit of your comic book, you got to go through the submission process and have it be judged accordingly. Do you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
That way Peter can vet out like what is a comic book that's going to stand out and sell. You know, and that's an important learning experience if it doesn't work or if it does.
There's no need to ever deter your friends or whoever or yourself from submitting to Alterna. All you have to do is just go to the website and send in your submission. Make sure you read the submission guidelines. If everything looks okay to you, send in your submission, and then I usually take about a month or so to get back to people, because we get maybe about 100 submissions or so a month. So between everything else going on and really wanting to take the proper time to look at the submissions, it does take a little bit of time. But sometimes people get lucky, and as I'm reviewing submissions, it'll be like that day I'm taking a look at them, and submissions will come in, and they'll get a response real fast. So then they'll think, like, I don't understand. The last one took like almost 2 months. I just got a response like within 20 minutes. And that'll be why. It's because it's actually the day I'm looking at them. But it's all about the work and the submission that comes through and the pitch and everything else. And that's something too. A lot of the writers out there, don't be coy with your pitch. I'm not a customer, I'm a publisher. So don't try to, razzle dazzle me with the sizzle. I want the steak. Yeah, I don't want the sizzle. I don't want this is going to be the best comic you've ever read. And then that's the pitch. I've had that happen. Actually, tell me what your story's about. Tell me where your story is going, and also proofread your pitch, because there's a lot of people that will send it in, and I'm like, your main character's name is spelled differently twice. That doesn't give me a lot of hope.
Oh, no, that's not good. Yeah, Roland, and you. That was a very thorough answer, but it is. I love talking about submissions anyway. But he says, of course, I just wasn't sure if Alterna still had open submissions.
Yep.
So the answer is yes, absolutely. Good stuff. Well, keep your eye out on the summer 2022 bundle. There, I did it correct that time, I think. I think we're gonna round off the stream and close it out. But I really appreciate you being on here with me tonight, Peter. Always good to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you, man. And also, Jasper, that's not true. I never received anything from Eric July. Good.
That's funny. I don't even think he would want. I mean, he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Is like Dracula, I never submitted it to Alterna, knowing that it wasn't fit.
Yeah,
For,
it's
it
just
wasn't
not
the right
thing.
project. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I think
Yeah.
if anything, there's sometimes there's stuff that comes through that's pretty good, and I'll flat out tell the person too in the submission that I think this is good. I think this is just not the right publisher. We're not the right publisher for you. I don't think you actually even really need Alterna. I think this is great. I think you could probably do this on your own, or there's a publisher out there that really could do well for you with this book. So depending upon the creator or depending upon, yeah, I know Jasper, but there's some people that wouldn't think otherwise with that. So, so I would tell
Stir in the pot.
yeah, I would tell the person, that I think that there's another publisher out there that's really going to do well for you with this, or you could just go the self-published route, because I'm not going to tell someone either that you need a publisher. I'd be the biggest hypocrite in the world if I said you needed a publisher to succeed, because I didn't need a publisher to get my book out. I just published it and put it out there and then built up Alterna. And 16 years later, here we are. So I'm not going to tell someone, you're nowhere without someone else giving you validation and approval and all this other stuff. There has to be value, though, in the relationship. And if there isn't any value in the relationship, then it kind of needs to, disband. But there's been plenty of submissions that have come my way over the years where it just didn't hit me in a certain way. But I knew that it's still of quality. And I knew that if I wasn't really excited about the comic, I was going to do them a disservice. Because they deserve a publisher who's at least going to be a fan of their book too. And I know there's publishers out there that don't feel that way. There's publishers that just go, well, someone out there is going to like it. So, I don't have to like it. We'll just publish it. But I always think, well, then how the hell do you know what's good or not and what appeals to anybody if it doesn't even appeal to you? And how can you then tell someone else, oh, yeah, buy this book, it's really good, when you just don't really think it's any good? So it's very strange in publishing, but I always try to at least enjoy the books that I publish, because then I can sincerely tell people, yeah, these are good books. I like them, and I enjoy them, and I would buy them, and I buy them to the T of not one copy but thousands of copies, and then I try to resell those copies. That's essentially how I look at it. I'm just one big crazy fan of a lot of these books, and I'm buying and trying to resell thousands of copies. So whether I'm crazy for that or not, that remains to be seen. But that's how I view it.
Well, you're doing something right. Don't forget.
I'm doing something all right.
You're doing something. You're doing something right. Yeah. We got the auction coming up on Thursday. I've got some trading cards. We'll see what else. We'll see what else I can get to. But I'll have some stuff. There's gonna be far better artists too selling stuff. That's Thursday night, and then I'm gonna be catching a plane flight and heading out over there, Plastic City Comic Con this weekend. If you happen to be in the area, we'd love to see you. And yeah, I think that's about it. And we'll see you on the next stream. Bye, everyone.
Right. See you guys.